Hello, this is Aletheia Naos. Our name is Greek for Temple of Truth, and we attempted designing the flyer, returning to Father's principle, in response to the current dilemma occurring in the Unification Church. Currently, the Unification Church has diverted its path from the truth, a word in Greek connotation that means having the secret revealed. Returning to Father's principle was made in hopes for all blessed families to unite again under Father's original purpose. Have we forgotten what the final goal of the Unification Church was? Did we lose our understanding of what True Father's mission was as the third Adam, as the last Messiah? True Father came to save humankind and bring salvation and liberation to God. Did we forget about this? As we know, because of the fall, humankind left God's governance and lost their ability to recognize their own sinful acts. Humankind have come to a state of ignorance where they do not know that they are committing sins and do not have a clue on how to establish a utopian world. Without realizing, humankind has been creating a world of hell. In this fallen state, True Father came as the substantial being of God's love in God's presence, and he brought the principle, true love and true family. Because True Father is in a direct relationship with God, his principle is God's principle. In order to reflect on whether blessed families are living that model of true love and true family, we, Aletheia Naos, decided to make this flyer. The title of the first chapter is, Can We Really Support True Mother by Just Following Her? For all these years, we have invested our sincerity to whatever True Father said. As directed, we witnessed, involved ourselves in public relations, enterprises, ancestral services, and offered tithes. True Father, however, passed away a few months before Foundation Day, the significant day that he declared would be the beginning of the substantial heaven on earth. At such a critical point in God's providential history, was True Father really supposed to pass away before Foundation Day? Some say that True Father went to the spirit world first to establish the heavenly world there as well. But is that really the case? In the divine principle, it states, the kingdom of heaven in heaven will be realized only after the kingdom of heaven on earth has been established. Also, even though Foundation Day has passed, why hasn't the world become the heavenly world like True Father declared yet? Instead, why is the Unification Church breaking apart and delving into darkness and confusion? Are our minds and bodies united? Do we remember how True Father mourned? How long will the mind and body continue to fight? When we interviewed church members, not only one or two members, but many stated, after True Father's Songwa, it will take 1,000 years to establish the kingdom of heaven. How many members actually believe that blessed families can accomplish the 2020 vision that True Mother has? If we don't have a deeper understanding of the significance behind True Father's perfection, completion, and conclusion, it is difficult to realize our own true love and true family. We believe that it is critical for blessed families to return and reaffirm the direction of Father's principle, and now is the time for each one of us to fulfill this responsibility. One individual asked, if the teaching of the Unification Church is true love and true family, then where is this true love and true family that you members teach? That is exactly true. The core problem that witnessing has declined comes from this. Can we really support True Mother when we blessed families cannot realize our vision of true love and true family? Now we would like to look into the specific contents from the flyer, returning to Father's principle. To some who were confident of their own righteousness and looked down on everyone else, Jesus told this parable. Two men went up to the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood by himself and prayed, God, I thank you that I am not like other people, robbers, evildoers, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week and give a tenth of all I get. But the tax collector stood at a distance. He would not even look up to heaven, but beat his breast and said, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. I tell you that this man, rather than the other, went home justified before God. For all those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. In the Jewish society, the social hierarchy ranked from the rabbi, Pharisee, and then the common peasants. Pharisees were devoted followers of Judaism, and these people would fast 2 times a week, tithe 10% of their income, follow orders, and judge others who do not tithe. Despite the devotion the Pharisees had, Jesus' response to these people were, Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name drive out demons, and in your name perform many miracles? Then I will tell them plainly, I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers. What does this mean? This means God wanted humankind to perfect love and establish true families rather than just follow formalities. Worshippers have become focused on grace and miracles, and have not considered the living for God's wish. The quote is directed to believers who think that they could be saved and go to a better place in heaven if they simply follow standard customs of the religion. Unlike the Pharisee who prayed shunning others, the tax collector repented, as mentioned before. The tax collector stood at a distance. He would not even look up to heaven, but beat his breast and said, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. John the Baptist even said, Repent, for the kingdom of heaven has come near, not be joyful, for the kingdom of heaven has come near. Next, in the divine principle it states, people such as John Calvin have propounded the doctrine of absolute and complete predestination, which is widely believed even in our present day. They have held to such a doctrine because they wrongly believe that the accomplishment of God's will depends solely on the power and work of God. They were ignorant of the true relationship between God's portion of responsibility and the human portion of responsibility in the fulfillment of the purpose of the providence of restoration. The purpose of completing the providence of restoration is to save the fallen humankind, perfect love, and bring victory to the true family. This goal is something that God alone cannot do with his 95% portion of responsibility. The remaining 5% human portion of responsibility is needed. It is also true that the providence has been prolonged because humankind could not fulfill their 5% portion of responsibility. Can humankind really fulfill their portion of responsibility if we only do what we are told and follow what has been decided? In conclusion, since God's purpose of creation was for each one of us to perfect love with him, we must take ownership and fulfill our portion of responsibility by actively seeking God's heart in his situation to realize his wish. We being followers will not aid in accomplishing his plan. If we're followers, we'll just cause burden and more responsibility on True Mother. In response to people like blessed families who pride that they did everything that they were told, like in Jesus' time, the same quote will be used. I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers. Blessed families, let us return to God's wish and Father's original principle so that we will not boast as simple followers. The principle is filled with the 6,000 years of love that God had for humankind. Our faith in the providence of restoration should have the same goal. We, Aletheia Naos, are hoping to provide messages to help blessed families have a stronger lifestyle of faith. Please try thinking about this. Nothing will start with disinterest. We followed what True Father said, but True Father passed away right before Foundation Day. If we keep acting the way we did with True Father, don't you think that we will cause True Mother and the true children to walk the same path of the cross as well? Don't you think that we should take ownership and actively seek the heart and situation of God? As we cause burden on True Mother with our simple philosophy of obediently following her, isn't it possible for True Father to say to us, I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers. Don't you think that we need to think more seriously about what true love and true family is? Did you know that True Father left his last words before his passing? Do you know the speech that True Father read for Hundoke continuously? That is the cosmic assembly for the settlement of the true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, and for the proclamation of the word by God's substantial self. Please try learning from this speech.